Welcome back to another chat with the artists on Tales from the Soundtrack podcast.
This week we're joined by the bass player from the Connecticut band No Honor Among Thieves. Please welcome Vito Flammia.
What's up, boys?
Vito, how you doing, man?
Good, I'm good. Yourselves?
Hanging in there, man.
Beautiful.
Finally got a day off after a stressful fucking week of work.
Heard that.
Yeah, Dan was glued to a phone throughout the week.
Yeah, I work at a music store, and it's rental season for the new school year for kids, so, like, we're fucking slammed.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't deal with inventory and calling people and setting shit up like that anymore.
This is why I'm trying to become a guitar tech and get the fuck out of it, all that retail bullshit. I'm done. I toured for too long, and then I miss it too much. It's like, I'll tech. That's fine.
You know, I'm in like the same headspace. Like it's just too much work to do the band thing seriously. I don't know. That's just me.
You have to have that thing at a very specific time, and
Yeah.
those like moments are very quick.
Yeah.
So it's just like, hey man, I can make good money just like fixing fucking guitars and shit. Like I'm cool with that.
And it's you still get the experience of being around an environment that you enjoy.
You know, some of my friends that have trusted me with some of their guitars, it's always like a cool fucking story, and it's stoked for them to be like, oh, holy shit, it hasn't played this good in forever.
It's always a good thing to hear that.
Yeah, for sure.
So we haven't done this in a couple episodes because I don't know. I think we just forgot. But we usually do a shotgun question, and it's something that I kind of just have off the fly. I know you're a big barbecue man.
Yep.
So off the rip, favorite style of barbecue and least favorite style of barbecue.
For me, my favorite is what I do, which is a Memphis, Kansas City blend with a New England flair. And I would have to say, for me personally, the style that I don't really care for would be the Carolina barbecue. I'm not a big fan of just vinegar and mustard sauces.
I can agree with that, and I was born in North Carolina. It's all good.
I just think you don't have as much room to play and create with that as you would. I mean, even in Texas style barbecue, it's kind of bland. It's salt, pepper, go. But
yeah, I feel like Texas barbecue is more about getting the char and just that long, low and slow process. Like It's very different.
Yeah, and it all comes down to like what they have for hardwoods down there, and
yeah, for sure,
certain things that they can do that we can't due to our seasonal weather. And so yeah, I mean, for me, it's that blend that I was talking about.
It's pretty dope. Sorry, everybody, we're now a cooking show. But no,
I like food.
Yeah, the New England flair thing. What's that, man?
Yeah,
like that's intriguing to me.
So like, everybody knows what pit beans are.
Yeah,
cook your beans. They go on your, go on your smoker. You do whatever. You get the smoke flavor rolled in. New England flair would be bringing New England seasonal ingredients into it. So like right now at the Warcock Fest that we just had here in the state that I catered, I had my bourbon apple pie pit beans, where basically what I do is I make my pie spiced apples and then cook them down with a local bourbon, then add them to my beans and let that all simmer together, then pop it into the pit to finish them off. So it's just bringing that like nutmeg, cinnamon, brown sugar flair from the Northeast, the more comforty foods, if you will, and sweets, trying to incorporate all of that.
That sounds fucking dope.
Yeah, it sounds divine. I'm jealous of everybody that was at Warcockapalooza.
Yeah.
So, it was definitely a sellout, so
that's
I'm sure.
it's awesome.
That's always good to hear, though.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, man, we're all bass players here.
Yep.
We all have a story. Oh, what got you started on bass? Did you start with another instrument, or did you just jump right into it?
My father was a drummer, and I was learning from him as a child. life happens, people pass away. So I ended up getting away from that because my mom was kind of about having the drum set up in the house, and it was a bigger kit and couldn't really fit it. So I kind of lost interest in it after that, and I hit 13, and I'm like, I got to do something with music, and I didn't really care for guitar all that much. I don't know whether it was hand dexterity or what the hell it was. I was just like, meh. So then I picked up a bass and I was just playing around with it, and I'm like, I want to learn this, and that's how it started. First song I learned was "Blind" by Korn. The night I got home with that thing.
That's awesome. Dave, can you remember one of the first songs you learned on bass?
Oh, that's tough. I want to say it's probably a Korn song because that was around the same time when I picked up a bass. Was when they, came out with Issues.
Oh man, I remember when I was living in Germany in the 90s. My brother and his friends were always over every weekend because over there legal drinking age was like 16, 17 or whatever, so they would just like, being in high school, throwing house parties on the weekends, and it's just like, all right, this is normal.
It's shitty.
But yeah, we had like my dad's old PV half stack in the basement, and we had a drum set and shit down there. My brother had an old Hartke bass amp, and yeah, we would just jam down there. And I remember one of my brother's friends teaching me like, God, I think it was like Killing in the Name of.
Oh no shit.
He was like, "Here, play this," and I was like, "Oh, cool."
Actually, I remember it. First song on bass because of the kid that introduced me to bass. It was his brother's bass, and I was messing around with it, and the only song he knew how to play on bass was Californication. He taught me how to play it. So that was the first song, and it was still around that same time. I had a guitar at home, and I remember picking this thing up and just being like, I'm not the largest of dudes, and at 12 years old or so, I was very frail little child, and picking this piece of lumber up, it just like had power, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking play this thing. Fuck the guitar, even though I have guitars and I
Nice.
love guitar. It's still, picked it up and never put it down. Well, put it down for a couple of years, obviously, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I played probably from when I was, got that 13 to like 16, 17. Pretty solid. Would just come home and rip on that thing. Ended up going through Metallica's first 4 albums front to back multiple times. And then I put it down for like 10 years. Just stopped.
Metallica made me a better bass player, though. Especially the first couple records.
Yeah.
Just playing some of the stuff. I mean, I don't want to say it's not complex, but some of it is complex. And even like Jason Newsted's stuff is pretty intricate in certain spots. I think one of the songs that really got me to like move my hand around more and to like learn different styles was My Friend Misery.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it's a great song to play on bass and guitar because it's a whole different style of, you're just like, instead of like just speed picking around and riffing, it was a lot of fun to learn how to play. And it's still a song that I know how to play like front to back anytime
Nice.
I pick that thing up. Yeah. Slayer.
I was mainly learning like Metallica and Tool. Like that's all I would try to learn how to fucking play. Like anytime anytime I play 46 and 2 on a bass, I just get lost.
Mudvayne as well was a really good band.
Dig. I love playing that song.
Oh, I heard Dig, and that's what made me pick it back up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this guy can do this. I got to do something. Like I got to relearn how to play. And then, yeah, that's basically how it started again.
So you guys have been around for a while now. How'd the whole band like get together and start and everything?
All right, so little history lesson we're gonna have to go through, and it's kind of in depth.
Yeah.
So you know the band With Honor,
Of course.
and you know the band Bury Your Dead.
Yes.
So you know Jay and Jeff Oster, the guitarists for With Honor,
Mhm.
you know that Slim B and Mark did Bury Your Dead. Well, there was a little known vocalist that fronted a band called Hamartia that they were all a part of in the early 2000s in Connecticut. And when that split up, it just so happened that Vin and I worked in the same restaurants. We started talking. He was playing guitar. I had just started playing my bass again. One thing led to another, and here we are. Hamartia dismantled, and Jay and Jeff went and formed with Honor, and Mark and Slim went and did Bury Your Dead. Vin kind of just stepped back from everything until I pried him out of retirement, you can call it.
Sometimes your musician buddies need that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a it was a thing where like we did it just as a joke, just kind of getting his chops back, and because he was mostly playing on acoustic but still writing some wonky ass metal riffs. If you guys listen to any of the early stuff on Prayers or Visions, you'll hear some wild shit.
Yeah, I was listening to some of the older stuff. That's why I wanted to ask you, like, what you would categorize you guys as, because it was, the style has changed, but there's also no definitive style. It's styles.
Mm.
So, and like you said, when Colin had given you a response on it, that was probably the best
Yeah,
response,
well,
especially for the new stuff.
that would be the direction of the new stuff, and the newer stuff that we're going to is more along the lines of like your classic New England hardcore. Still though, it has like the elements and the styles of I the only way I can really describe it is Vin riffs, which he'll just throw this random ass shit in, and all of a sudden he's playing like a jazz major seventh somewhere, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, we all have these interesting characters in our bands that can just do the weirdest shit out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have been around since what, like 2012?
2004.
2004?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, see, damn, man. 2004 was the first. Damn, bro.
Well, that's 2004 is when we got together. 2005 we added the drummer, and then we had a little trouble finding vocalists because that was when like everybody stopped. 04 to like or 05, 06, 07, everybody was kind of in their projects and going. We had a couple people come in and try out, but nobody that we were really comfortable with. Then we had this guy Callow that came down, who was actually the first vocalist for Vano Morris. He came and joined our project. He was raw, but he had great power and pretty good lyricist. He was with us for a couple of years. We did, I think, one show with him, and then there was like a 2-year hiatus with the band. Vinny had his second son, and it was like, guys, I'm driving an hour and 20 minutes each way to practice between the kids, helping the wife, work. I gotta take a step back. So we dismantled for 2 years. I went and I tried out for Vano Morris as they were getting off there, just starting to get everything together. Then I went and tried out for the band Scar the Earth the first time. Didn't really get along with one of the guitar players, so I kind of walked away from that. And then I just sat and basically jammed out with my jazz studied drummer of an uncle. And that's kind of all we did, was just rip on our own stuff together and try to figure out like off time stuff that we could do off of each other just to help each other be better players.
That's so awesome.
And then I kind of got the itch back, and I was like, called Vin, and I said, listen, all I want to do is get this EP out, and then we'll call it a day if you don't have the time to keep going. So we tried to get our original vocalist to come in. It was just schedules didn't match up, and he wasn't able to make practices due to work. He was getting stuck out in New York all the time. So I literally called him up and I said, dude, listen, no hard feelings, but we're moving forward with this, and you're not available right now, so we're going to look for somebody else. Enter Steve, and now what's going on to 4 albums later.
What year was that? When did that start?
So Steve came in 2011. Dude showed up. It was I remember it like it was yesterday. We're in the middle of practice. He was supposed to be there at like 7:00, but I looked out and I saw an absolute blizzard. And I'm like, all right, let me give this dude a call, because he was working in the Danbury Mall at the time. And I was like, listen, dude, if you can't make it, instead of driving past your house, like, I get it, go home. We'll do this in 2 weeks. It's fine. He was like, "Nope, I'm coming. My windshield wipers are broken, and I'm already on 84. I got my hand out the window. I'll be there."
Damn.
This dude showed up, ripped the lyrics to "Whisper in the Wind" from Pocahontas to our first song. Didn't miss a beat. And I'm like, I just looked at everybody. I go, "That's it, right there."
That's an amazing tryout.
Seriously.
Yeah. It's too bad you guys didn't record that session.
I guarantee you, I have it, but you're talking like 2011 technology, so it was a little Tascam tape 4-track
Yeah.
Yep.
with like vocal mics and one condenser mic in
Oh
a
my goodness.
in like a CMU brick foundation room. The acoustics were not good.
That's crazy, man. 2004. So you guys are almost on your 20th anniversary being a band. That's rad.
We have longevity if we don't have anything else.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes to the point of what you guys were saying earlier about, you get these fleeting moments of things where like you have such a finite window to get something done. And if it doesn't work, then people just bail, where we're like, this is fun for us. We're not looking to do anything. So why break up? Just keep putting out music.
Fuck yeah.
I know most of my friends that are involved in music and people that are, like yourself, that are associated in pretty much the same scene that's just ongoing in Connecticut. I wonder if we didn't have the internet, if it would just be the same attitude and thought process of being like, well, we're just doing this for fun. Or would it be like it was when we didn't have the internet at our grip? Would we be nipping at the bit even at our age? Would we be eager to just get out there and do as much as we used to? You know what I mean? I don't know if that made a sense, but
Well, here's my take on it. I'll be 40 at the end of the year, so I've been in the scene since Hatebreed had Under the Knife coming out, and they were just starting to play all this shit on Satisfaction.
Damn.
So I look at it this way: before the internet, you actually had people who would sit and wait and buy tickets because it wasn't instant gratification. It wasn't right there at your fingertips. So you almost had a created, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh shit, I can't think of it right now. But you had like this. Everybody was like, I have to be there because we don't know when they're coming back. Now with the internet, you can go wherever you want and you can watch live videos. You can see people live streaming concerts. You can stream your favorite band's music until you die if you wanted to at this point. And now and with back then, you had to either sit by a radio and wait and pray that you hit record at the right time.
Yeah.
Or for it, to get your favorite song on a tape. And then it was rewinding and running that tape until it broke and having to do it again. So, I mean,
yeah.
I think with the way how the internet has made everything so accessible, everybody's kind of numb to it because it's just flooded. So we don't have that big presence that we once used to.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say there's something to be said about like the oversaturation. Like anybody can put out music whenever they want, and there's a lot out there, but it's just like only a small majority of it sticks out. Back in the day, I remember going to like Toad's Place or the Webster to buy tickets.
Yeah,
Like
and
you
like
had
you'd
to
walk in.
actually go to a point of sale to purchase them. It was like, I don't know. It was just a very different experience. It's
Remember
more human.
remember
Yeah.
you had to go to Sears to buy Warped Tour and Ozfest tickets?
Yeah.
Or Strawberries music
Strawberries.
store.
Yep.
Yeah, there were strawberries.
FYE.
Yeah.
Yep. Like that's what I mean. It was so different, and there was a lot more human interaction to it. But there's something to be said about like technology and where it has people's mindsets at now. Everybody's numb to a lot of things because your brain's blasted with shit like left and right.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it too, and look at I'll just use hip hop as an example.
Sure.
These guys pump and dump so many songs in one session because the beat's already laid out. You're not mixing and doing anything. You have a producer for that. 90% of the time, there's writers for everything, so the lyrics are just sitting there, and you need to figure out how they fit. So they just can sit there and time after time after time, they can have 6 singles ready to go in the matter of 3 hours.
Mm.
If you look at our timelines, it's like it took us 10 years to put out Prayers. It took us another 4 to put out Visions. Then it took us 5 or 6 to put out Death is Only the Beginning. But that was also due to COVID, a drummer switch, and practice space switch, and multiple things. And now we have Secrets a year later as a single drop, and we're 90% done with a new album.
Hell yeah.
See that? Look at how fast that happened from
Yeah.
COVID did, I said this in previous episodes, COVID did reinvigorate a lot of the musicians I know, it turning them either into entrepreneurs and doing something else other than music, or getting back, just literally getting off their ass and going to do it again. Like seeing, was it almost 2 years ago when the band just was even in like talks and they were just starting to jam, like Burying Point, like seeing those dudes, like being in bands with those guys and knowing those guys for so long and watching them do it now, like it's dope as hell to see it, because they're grinding too for how busy they are as dudes in their personal lives and everything. They're completely grinding more shows than some of the bands we've been in at the frequency that they're at.
Yeah, no, they're definitely pushing for it this time around, and I hope, honestly, their song "Violent Justice," if that doesn't do something for them, people are just fucked, because that shit.
Have you heard the new song that they haven't released yet?
Yeah, I've heard. I have. I get the little in, because if little history lesson on Bearing Point, I was the deciding vote in the name.
Oh,
Very cool. A couple weeks ago, I was helping them fold some of those T-shirts up, and they were finishing up they were doing the vocal tracking for that song, and I can't wait for people to hear it. It's so fucking sick.
Oh, it's good. They played it at Warcock.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was it hit.
Yeah,
It definitely
hit. I bet it did.
But I mean, like even when Josh was doing Deer Slug, when that, they were in the infancy of that, they released the first single. Like you could see the parallels where Josh was like, okay, this was going to be something, I want to bring that over here. So he brought Freddie, and then he just put a whole other cast around him, and he's like, let's do this.
He's got driven guys and experienced guys, so
yeah,
the band is, I'm hoping, gonna do big things. It'd be really awesome for all of them.
I would love to see it for him. I absolutely would.
You were there at Warcock. There was a lot of bands there. I know you were outside and you weren't in the actual show, but tell us how you got on that for catering that with your food.
So the year prior, there was a show that was being put on called Hate BQ, and that was an absolute monstrous success. Like, I think we cleared almost 300 people at the door, and then someone, everybody forgets to count. But like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Cherry Street, which I'm sure you have, being in, from Connecticut at some point in your lives.
For sure.
Yes.
You couldn't walk outside or inside at that first year. So then the owner, Dennis, and the guy who runs Warcock, Ryan Early, approached me about trying to do food at Warcock last year. It just didn't work out because I had a wedding booked for the same day. So then when this year came around, I was doing Hate BQ again, and Ryan hit me up real early, like, hey, dude, these are the 2 dates that I'm looking at. Are you available? I'm like, yeah, let's make it happen. So that's how that got together.
That's awesome, and it was a success. So
yeah, no, this definitely was. The Hate BQ this year wasn't so much because there was a massive monsoon. Even though Saturday was rainy over here, it wasn't completely intolerable. Like you could stand outside and it was just a drizzle. Where at the Hate BQ, it was like a massive monsoon and the entire outside was flooded. So I'm like walking through puddles of water, very upset.
That's a drag.
That sucks. So you guys have a show on the 30th. You're going to be raising money for the Lurking Class Skate Shop in New Jersey. Can you elaborate on how that show came to be? And I'm sure you're stoked for that too.
Okay, so actually we have a show we're a band. I'll start with this. We're a band that typically plays 4 shows a year due to our schedules, our home lives, or whatever else. This year, we've played probably more shows than we have combined in the last 5 years. We've always talked about like doing a weekend run. So we had our buddy Joaquin hook us up with some people, and I had my buddy Rob hook us up with some people. And this weekend, we're actually going on a run. So we're starting down in Virginia. We're playing another round with Summoner's Circle, and I can't remember the other band's name. It's one of them weird names. And then Terra Firma, and there's 2 other bands that are slipping me right now. And then we're going up to New Jersey on Saturday for the Lurking Class skate shop benefit show. That was actually supposed to be like 6-7 bands and like an all-day event, but unfortunately there was a few mishaps. Cropsy lost their singer, and so now it's down to us. Silence Equals Death. I can't remember the other 2 guys, but yeah. And then we were looking to book something for 10-1 in New York somewhere, and that just all fell through. So we're gonna do a 2-day run. We're gonna drive down to Virginia. We're gonna debut 3 or 4 new songs that haven't even seen the light of day yet down there.
If you're in Virginia and you're listening to this, you already saw the show because this comes out a day after or the day of. But if you're in New Jersey and if they're playing the same set, which town is Lurking Class Skate Shop in New Jersey?
So the skate shop is actually in Maryland. We are playing a benefit show for them up in Bayonne, New Jersey. Because what the whole benefit for them is they need to add another fire exit in order to continue having benefit shows there. So if they don't get this other means of egress put onto the building, which is obviously going to cost money, they're no longer going to be able to be a local venue, a DIY venue in a skate park. Just losing CT Bicycle and never having been able to play there, that hits home for me.
Yeah, I saw that when I was in Bristol a couple weeks ago, and because Josh gave me the wrong. He's gonna hear this, and I don't fucking care. But Josh gave me the wrong address to their practice space, so I ended up on the wrong street. And I was like, I mean, I know where I am. I'm right next to CT Bike, and I looked, and I was like, nobody told me. So sad.
It went out last year. We tried to do one last show there, and the new owners are like, "No, we don't want it." It's kind of sad. Like,
yeah,
I'm in my feels right now. So,
if you're in the area and you're gonna not doing anything Saturday, head over there. It's for a good cause. Keep a DIY venue going.
It's called the venue's called Lot 13. It's in Bayonne, New Jersey.
Lot 13. Well, if you're in New Jersey, get the fuck over there and get them a goddamn fire exit.
Yes.
Because venues are few and far between now, especially in Connecticut. Like watching some venues that, I mean, it's surprising that some are doing really well, and then some are just like having a VFW or a like an American Legion show is probably near impossible at this point, at least in Connecticut.
No, they still have them here and there.
No way.
Yeah, no, definitely people are still grabbing them, mostly up in like Enfield. There's a new DIY venue going up in Windsor Locks that I just got told about this morning.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, people are still doing like Polish club shows, VFW shows. They're still happening.
Do they still have shows at the Polish club in Berlin or Kensington?
I don't know. I haven't heard about that one in a while.
That place is like a 1700s schoolhouse. It's so small.
Now I want to go play there.
I've been talking to a few people about possibly in the future trying to start that as an endeavor. A next project in life is getting a venue going.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
So what I'm noticing here in Connecticut is you're getting a lot of like the breweries are starting to pick up on hosting metal and hardcore shows.
I see it. I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. The Beer Axe in East Haven is starting to pick up a lot of it. Like they've had Terror there. They've had
no shit.
Kings Never Die. they've had some bigger. I believe it was All Out War was there. They've had some pretty heavy hitters.
It's a good idea if you got the space for it.
Yeah.
And they do. You can easily put 400 or 500 people in that room when they have the stage set up. Like we're playing the Sugar Hollow Tap Room in November, and they're just starting out doing metal shows as well now too. So it's like finally there's something in the western part of the state that people can go to that's not, in Waterbury or Torrington. I'm saying like farther west, closer to the New York border, Danbury.
Mm.
Oh man, Waterbury and Torrington.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yep.
There's a reason the venues there go up for like 2 weeks and then go away.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy shows though in Torrington.
I've attended many crazy shows in Waterbury.
Yeah, Waterbury as well. There was some bunk venues in Waterbury that are no longer around, but it's great you guys are all still doing it though, because the bass could be sitting in a case somewhere for years and years and years, and it's getting played, and you guys have stuff coming out, so it's pretty rad.
Buying new and holding on to old all the time. I'm Josh.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna ask, what's your setup? What's your rig looking like?
So I've played the same setup for the last, Jesus Christ, 15 years. I was like you guys, because I listened to the podcast with Josh. So like you guys, I was an Ibanez guy, or I am an Ibanez guy.
Yeah.
But I was a Bartolini guy.
Interesting.
Was until I played Josh's. Josh talked me into buying an SR 2605, and it had the Nordstrands in it. And I played that thing, and that was it. Like that's all I needed. So now the only bass that I'm actually keeping out of my old stash is my workhorse, which was my SR 505 from like 2006.
I have the same bass in my stash.
That's getting hung on my wall in retirement. That thing has been through hell and back.
Yeah.
So I have Ibanez SR 755. That was my backup. That's going up, getting listed soon. And then I ended up getting into like some 4-strings because I got really big into Sworn Enemy again.
Fair.
So Mike Putch and I have been going back and forth about gear a lot. So I found a LTD FB4, the Frank Bello signature model, and I grabbed that.
Nice.
And that's when I want to go like play Sworn Enemy or any kind of New York hardcore, I break that thing out. But the rig is the racks changed up a little bit over the years, but nothing crazy. I mean, I went from PV Tour 700 to adding a BBE Sonic Maximizer with a power conditioner, and then adding an RBI Sans amp stacked on all of that, and that's the rig. And went from a PV Tour 410 to a Carvin BR 810 to now I have the Tour matching 210 115 combo. Neodymium speakers, they weigh like 12 pounds. So
Oh wow,
it's a nice rack. Yeah, I have a Sans amp RPM and the DI box in the back, which is like the RBI.
Yeah.
Box. Yeah. I still run the RBI.
It's a Tech 21, man.
Yeah.
Good shit.
I'm rack mount RBI Sans amp. That thing will never go anywhere.
No, you can make it sound like whatever the fuck you want. I don't need anything else.
Pretty much.
That's why I haven't changed my rig since 2009.
Yes, I've had this rig since like 2012.
I will say though, I do want a fractal audio for my bass, just because.
I'm probably gonna get a Helix at some point,
or a Helix. Yeah, I keep forgetting about the Helix.
I am completely happy where I am, especially once I switched to those Nordstrands. And it just so happened the 2605 I bought had the dark glass tone capsule in it already. So the next Nordstrand bass I buy is getting a dark glass tone capsule put in. and then
Hell yeah.
I'll be pretty much done with buying gear after that.
I need to
'Cause
look into those. I'm looking to upgrade the electronics in my 5-string.
it's funny because my cousin's actually sponsored by Dark Glass,
Nice.
so I keep trying to hit him up. I'm like, yo, can you get me a tone capsule?
I love gear.
I don't know. I have questions about shit. I call Josh.
Good source.
I'm
Good
like,
stuff,
answer
yeah.
this for me. Why do I need this? And he'll tell me you need it because of this, or you don't need it because of that.
He's great because he'll tell you if you don't need something too. I've known people who will literally be like, "Yeah, fucking buy that. You need that."
Yep.
And you're like, "Okay," and then $6,000 later.
Yeah, see, he with that whole thing with the ding walls. Like, I went down to their practice space one day when I first got the 2605. I brought that with me, and I was playing with his ding walls, and I'm like, dude, there's nothing special about these. I don't get it. Like, I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. So I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, I just attribute Dingwall popping off because of Nolly. Just saying.
Could be.
Yeah, it could be because I mean, they're nice. They're definitely nice, but I'd
Yeah,
rather
for
have an
sure.
Ibanez.
But like, people that work and like have families and do normal jobs, yeah, BTB is a little bit more attainable.
I'll take an SR any day of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the SRs are sick too.
Yeah. There's so many I guess niche guitar companies out there. So
Yeah, I mean, it's if you got the money and you want to play with it, go for it.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. It's just like if you can afford that, sick.
just not for me, baby.
I just
No,
like
if
buying
I would love
like
to have them.
guitars I can actually like mod. So I don't want to buy a guitar that expensive just to fucking mod it.
Yeah. Well, if you're spending that type of money, you're getting. I mean, you're at least you are getting a good guitar, but for
Yeah,
the
of
price
course.
that they are, they're fucking nuts.
Yeah,
So
and then you're gonna be fearful anytime you go to bring it out of the house.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like I'd rather have something that I can replace relatively easily
Mm-hmm.
than a custom one-off that cost me 10 grand and then somebody steals it and it's like, well, fuck, there goes 10 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 grand. Jeez. Yeah, Josh was telling me about like the prices he was selling his guitars at. And I was like, you motherfucker. I was like, that's crazy money. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's because they're all in a weight.
But hey, yeah, he's got great gear sense. He always has. Me and him have been bartering back and forth for over 10 years. So
Well, my first Tour 700 came from him. Bought it off him. First RBI Sans amp came from him. What else did I get from him? I've basically 90% of the gear that I have is either from him or due to his influence.
hear that, Josh?
Oh, he knows. He knows.
You're special man. Sorry, Josh, you're losing in the numbers category when it comes to plays right now. So the guys in Burying Point have had each of them on except for Freddie and Kanan, and they're all competing into who's got the most downloads on their episodes here.
That's hilarious.
We're getting
great.
Freddie. Freddie's coming, so we'll be talking to him soon. But
He's gonna blow us all out of the water.
he's a lot of fun to be around, so we're excited for that.
That dude's a goofball. I love it.
Dude, thank you so much for your time. It was cool just chatting with you and just like getting to learn about you and the band and everything. And like, yeah, man, I'm down to try some barbecue.
When you guys come up next, if it's there, because like I just do it on the side as a fun gig, just to
for sure
keep my culinary chops. So
very cool. Yeah, dude, we appreciate you coming on here and hanging out and
absolutely
shooting some shit.
I wish the rest of the band could have been here because we got another one we're doing tomorrow, but it's all four of us at the same time.
Oh man, that would have been fun and chaotic at the same time.
Oh yeah, like Steve, my vocalist probably would have taken this over and just gone off the rails.
That's all right. We can always have you on again. You were a blast, dude.
Hey, I mean, we'll figure it out. We'll get the whole band together. We'll do it on a Tuesday if you guys want.
For sure.
For sure.
Before we head out, man, anything you want to plug where people who listen can find you guys, find your music,
Yeah.
socials, whatnot.
Actually, I don't know the damn links, so I can't really say it on here. But I know we got a link tree. So if you search Linktree and the band name No Honor Among Thieves, you'll find it, and everything's on there. Our newest single just dropped on Beheading the Traitor on Friday. Should be live everywhere streaming as of tomorrow, because CD Baby sucks and delayed my release date till today when it was supposed to be Friday. But yeah, I mean, our new single Secrets came out Friday. We've got a new album in the works. Should be out sometime around now next year. All I can say is it's going to be a fun time in our camp because styles definitely changed. So
Beautiful. I'm pumped for it. I'm excited to hear new music.
Always.
Yeah.
Thanks again for tuning in for another episode of Tales from the Soundcheck Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Tales from the Soundcheck Podcast and listen on Spotify where you can follow and rate the show.
Don't forget to hit that little bell and subscribe to our YouTube channel for full episodes and future exclusive clips.
If you have any comments, want to chat with us on the show, or have your band featured, please DM us or email us at talesfromthesoundcheckpodcast@gmail.com.
Here's the newest track from No Honor Among Thieves, called Secrets.
Told to be rocked up tight. It's not a